Prosecutors have rested their case in the George Zimmerman trial. The defense will continue making their case tomorrow morning in Sanford. We could be fast approaching the end of this. It's moving rather quickly. Assistant State Attorney Felix Vega joins us again this morning to talk about this. And good morning.
Good morning again, Kristen.
We do have a lot to cover. First of all, last week ended with a tale of two mothers, and a mother on the stand, especially in this case, so powerful. Neither was there, of course, at the time of the shooting, but who the jury really can resonate with, who she can really resonate with, could really swing the case, right?
It could, because it's all about this crucial 911 tape that we've talked about so much. And Sabrina Fulton was brought in for that one purpose, to identify her son's voice as the voice screaming on that 911 call the night that he died. And you saw Sabrina Fulton come into the courtroom. She was very poised. She was very articulate. We learned about her education. We learned about her background. And she really definitively said that was her son's voice on the 911 case. More importantly, when she was cross-examined, she did not fold under pressure by Mark O'Mara.
Yes.
He tried to twist around. Couldn't you agree that it wasn't your son, that he would be responsible for his own death? That was a horrible question to really ask, especially with her on the stand. She handled it very well for the jurors to see. So I think her versus Gladys Zimmerman, who got on the stand, she again identified the voice as George Zimmerman. However, one question on cross-examination by Bernie De La Rionda basically said, have you ever heard your son scream for help? She said, no, not for help. So that kind of really undermined what they were attempting to do on the defense side. So I think the advantage would go to Sabrina Fulton in that mix-up.
Yeah, that was quite a moment between Sabrina Fulton and Mark O'Mara right there.
And it was, and it kind of leads into what we're going to talk about next, is how effective he's been in cross-examining people on the stand. And really, he's gotten under the skin of some people. He's gotten a lot of people to agree with him about certain key points in the case. A lot of people were criticizing the prosecution, for example, saying that, why are they putting all these witnesses on the stand when they're really defense witnesses, or why are they testifying in that way? And the prosecutor really, they're presenting their case the way that they needed to in order to get out the evidence to prove second-degree murder. And then, for example, why did they play all those statements of George Zimmerman? That goes to the heart of their ill will, hatred, spite, evil intent, and really showing the inconsistencies in his story doesn't square with the physical evidence in this case.
Let's talk about George Zimmerman. There's always the question of whether he will take the stand, but it seems like the defense did something that, in a way, we've heard from him already in court.
We've heard from him actually 5 times. There was a written statement that he gave to the police. There were 4 other recorded statements, one of which was that infamous interview he did with Sean Hannity on Fox News. So from a defense standpoint, they've already got his story out there. But for the prosecution, what they did is they wanted to show all the different variations in his story. And what they're going to do in closing argument is basically point out surgically every single time they change his story, square that with the physical evidence. So the million-dollar question still remains, will George Zimmerman testify? There's really nothing to be gained at this point by him going on the stand, because he runs the risk of being cross-examined by the prosecution. They would have a field day playing all those tapes over and over and over again and asking him to explain, how do you explain this versus the version you gave back in March, back in April of 2012. So there's a real danger in doing it. But again, Mark O'Mara said he hasn't made that final decision, and a lot of time it comes down to the last minute when they decide to do it.
All right, so things pick back up tomorrow morning with the defense. Okay, thanks again, Felix. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Kristen.
And we'll see you again in our 8 o'clock hour to answer some Facebook questions.
And we got a lot of good ones coming in already, so we're looking forward to that.
Okay, we'll see you then.